Cross flags. Hirschman, Silk, row number 1. Kyle, what about row 2?
Lined up, doubled up into their rows. Set to go with Woody Pitkat and Andrew Krause in row 2. Marcello Refrano, Stephen Kopsick, row 3. Noah Corner, Matt Galko, then Anthony Bello and Eric Goodale, the top 10 starters, ready to go to do battle here for 100 laps. $130,000 on the line for these 32 teams. Pace car set to pull to the infield. Matt Hirschman, Ron Silk, front row with the call of the start of the 51st Napa Spring Sizzler. Here's the Grand Marshal and Ben Dodge.
They come off turn number 4. Matt Hirschman, Ronnie Silk, pedal to the metal. They are flying down into turn number 1. Hirschman setting a blistering pace already. Off the turn, down the back straightaway. Hirschman starts to pull away, side-by-side bid for positions 4 and 5.
Off turn 4 they come. Lap number 1 in the books, picking up right where he left off a year ago. Big money, Matt Hirschman leads the opening circuit.
Hirschman still in command. It's early in the event. Meanwhile, keep your eyes on some of the cars that are moving forward. Stephen Kopsick, car number 1, is in the 6th spot. Andrew Krause, who ran so strong in qualifying with that number 24 car, is already in the 5th, make it the 6th position now. Back out front, Ronnie Silk, he's toying with Hirschman. Remember, Hirschman is a closer, Silk is an opener. Here they come. As they cross to the line, it is still Hirschman as he continues to set the pace. 3 of 100 laps and counting down.
Silk in 2nd, Pitkat in 3rd, albeit falling back just a bit. Then Marcello Refrano in 4th, Stephen Kopsick, the top 5. Battle is up front for the lead. Ronnie Silk looking outside and in on race leader Matt Hirschman.
Silk dives to the inside lane, 2 wheels down on the lower tracks. Ronnie Silk has moved into position number 1. Once again, this is the first lead change of the event. Here comes Silk. He's the leader of the pack. Hirschman running in his tire tracks, and Woody Pitkat waiting for that curtain call in position number 3.
Hirschman tucking back in the line, now in the 2nd spot. Pitkat in 3rd. They stack up for 4th. Refrano, Kopsick, Krause, Noah Corner part of that battle as well, as is Eric Goodale looking the corners inside for a spot just outside of the top 5.
Eric Goodale will tell you that last year in the Spring Sizzler, he just couldn't find the right opportunity. He went home, he was totally disappointed with his race car. I don't think he's disappointed today at all, Kyle. He's in the 8th spot. Matty Galko, the independent, is up to 9th. And Doug Colby sets in position number 10 in the Mayhew number 7 car.
Driving for Tommy Baldwin is Doug Colby in that 10th spot as he is in line just in front of Mike Christopher Jr. and Anthony Bello. That's that lead group up the back straightaway. Add Craig Lutz into that as well. Top 13 tightly bunched back down to the stripe, all chasing Ron Silk at the front of the field. He leads by 3 car lengths now over Matt Hirschman in 2nd. 3 more back to Pitkat in 3rd.
You know, as Pitkat sets in the 3rd spot, he's keeping about the same margin between him and Hirschman, and behind him, his spotter is doing his job. Car going around, it looks like it is the 55 machine, and one of 2 55s.
Trying to set.
Yes, as he goes spinning to the inside of the racetrack. First caution comes out 9 laps in. Now, it's a little early for pit strategy. John Gates is covering the action down on pit road. And I know how you are, John. You talk to the crew chiefs and you talk to the teams. Has anybody give you a hint of when tire strategy and pit stops are going to be taking place?
Well, it seems like about a quarter of the race they were talking. Depends on how many caution flags they got. Most of the crew chiefs were saying their drivers are going to give a little, take a little, and just try to stay in a decent routine here on the speedway. So it's going to be tough, but these guys were all given 10 tires to start out the Sizzler weekend. Most of the higher running teams still have 4 fresh tires here in the pit area. And of course, there's probably 4 good ones on the car right now.
9 laps complete. Let's jump in on some of the lap sponsors as we'll take a look at a replay while we do so for Ryan Doucette's spin in turn number 1. Stafford Speedway, the proud sponsor of the opening lap of this event. Williams Lawn Care, sponsor of lap number 2. Casello Waste and Mark DeMauro Jr., sponsor of lap 3. The Stafford TV crew picked up lap number 4, and Casello Waste and Mark DeMauro Jr. picking up another lap in lap number 5.
Lap number 6, it is Riley Generators. Lap number 7 is in memory of Charles Kepley. Lap number 8 is in memory of Don King. Lap number 9 is Landon Cohen Racing. And lap number 10 is South Street Automotive, West Hartford. 2 leaders in 9 circuits. Ronnie Silk became the second. Matt Hirschman was the first. Keep your eyes on row number 2.
Green is back out. We are underway to begin lap number 10 with Silk and Hirschman at the front of the field. Inside lane advances. That means Ronnie Silk goes back to the point. Here's Pitcat and Hirschman now in a bid for second.
No question about it. 4 cars make it 5. Challenging to the inside. The door suddenly opens up and Woody Pitcat looks for some daylight. He's down underneath Matt Hirschman. Pitcat puts car number 88 up to second. Here comes car number 1, Steven Kopczyk. This is a brand new deal and a brand new ride for him. Kopczyk up to the 4th position, and right behind him is Marcello Ruffano, who refuses to be left out of the big dance here.
Noah Corner part of that battle as well, along with Matt Galco in car number 3. Doug Coby has picked up a couple of spots since the restart. He moves into 8th. Change for position number 4. Maybe they are going back and forth for that spot as they cross the line. Marcello Ruffano and Steven Kopczyk.
There's no question about it. It's good racing wherever you look in this one. But up front for the 4th and 5th position seems to be where the action is. 2 graduates, former champions of the SK Lights. Marcello Ruffano, the pride of Italy, and Steven Kopczyk. Directly behind him is Noah Corner. Now, Corner really impressed a lot of folks yesterday afternoon with his dual qualifying run. And what about Matty Galco? He's the kid next door. No big financing, just determination, a father and son and grandfather operation there.
14 complete, working lap number 15, and things have thinned out at the front of the field among the top 4. They are really stacking up from Noah Corner, make that Steven Kopczyk on back. Here's Corner to the inside to try to pick up that spot. That is for 5th on the speedway. Corner up to 5th. Kopczyk to the outside lane. Will lose another spot to Matt Galco in her bid for 6th.
Good racing right there, as all of a sudden it is car number 1 that is forced to back out of it a second, but then he gathers it right back in. Meanwhile, keep your eyes on Matty Galco, and in front of him is Noah Corner with that number 31 car. 16 of 100 work their way into the record books here. Meanwhile, little bit of a ripple effect further back in the field. Jimmy Beluit running in the 12th spot, and Andrew Krause came together. Bobby Santos tried to avoid, and Brian Narducci as they worked off turn 4. Meanwhile, the number 15 of Jake Johnson in the middle pack of cars. That car has been loosening up as he tries to continue to manhandle the car. 17 of 100 complete. Where is John McKennedy? He is not as strong as we anticipated back in 23rd with Chase Dowling, Matt Swanson, and Spencer Davis.
Brian Narducci gaining a spot further back a lap ago. One car showing a lot of smoke and fire now in turn number 2. Bit of a flash fire there, and I believe
caution number 2. And it is the Jake Johnson machine. And that, of course, is car number 15, and that is the Linz Propane Trucks machine. And as Kyle pointed out, we saw it get fired back up, and even though they sell propane, that's not the kind of heat they were looking for, but it is pulling behind the wall. As also behind the wall is car number 00. John Gates, do you have any information on the 00 of Craig Lutz?
Brake caliper issue with the 00, so unable to fix it. He is behind the wall, done for the night.
heartbreaker for them. That car has had a tremendous amount of success by a lot of different drivers over the years, including Teddy Christopher, driving for Jimmy Page's race team. Steve LeMay's brother also had some success. Chase Dowling dominated at one point in the open shows with that particular race car. So there has been a lot of good guys, including Woody Pitkat, have put that 00 up front in the competition here. As we look at the field under single file, the story is this. Again, we've only had 2 different leaders in 18 circuits. Ronnie Silk became the second leader. Woody Pitkat is shown in second. Matt Hirschman is in third. Marcello Rafano is fourth. And Noah Corner, hats off to that young driver, in the 5th spot. Same can be said with Matt Galco. And then position number 7, car number 7, Doug Colby. No surprises there. Stephen Kopsick is running 8th. Michael Christopher was running 9th. And Eric Goodale is 10th. Now we're going to take another replay look at it, as there is the Ling machine.
Jake Johnson up in flames for a moment. Thankfully, it quickly was extinguished itself. And he will go behind the wall.
And you can see how dejected that young man is. He's a very talented driver.
Set to go to begin lap number 18. Pace car once again on pit road. Set for the resumption. After a brief delay, back underway, and it's Silk that get to jump to turn 1.
Silk does a masterful job of setting the pace on the bottom, but already he is being pressured heavily. The outside groove is the story, and Woody Pitkat pulls back in the line. Takes a peek to the bottom of Silk. Now, these guys have been friends off the racetrack. They grew up here at Stafford, but they're not having a friendship talk now. All of a sudden, we see car number 31 that is running up front, and that is Noah Corner. Might be possibly in contention there, but there might be some liquid coming from the back end of the car. We're not sure of that. Doug Colby is right behind him. Colby puts the number 7 to the inside. No problem there, but can't pull it off. I think the story now, Kyle, is 4th on back.
That's where they stack up. Marcello Rafano has that spot. Matt Galco is there. Noah Corner also looking to the inside. Doug Colby slowly but surely and methodically making his way through the field. Positions that number 7 car in the 7th spot, just in front of Mike Christopher Jr. Then the battle for position behind them between Eric Goodale going to the inside of Stephen Kopsick.
Stephen Kopsick's car was so strong just a few laps to go, and it is starting to back up. Jimmy Beluit goes to the inside of Kopsick. He is literally trying to manhandle the automobile. Meanwhile, further back, here comes John McKennedy, one at a time. And who's with him? Well, it looks like Chase Dowling and it looks like Max McLaughlin that are trying to follow the John McKennedy car to the front of the field. In the last few circuits, Anthony Bello has moved into the top 10. Goodale is in the 9th spot, and Michael Christopher is up to position number 8.
Chris Pastriak, meanwhile, going in the other direction. Car 75, stuck up in the outside lane, has lost a couple of spots. Max McLaughlin, next car in line, looking to his inside, outside of the top 15, and a half a lap behind race leader Ron Silk, who is out front by about 5 car lengths. Couple cars in trouble. You have Narducci and Old Blue to the outside wall, and I believe that is Kraus up in the wall with them in car number 24. It is.
It is. He had a great qualifying run in one of the duels the other day. Narducci is able to pull away under his own power in Old Blue. Again, we talked about the safer barriers and the situation there.
Here we come, coming to complete 1/4 distance. Next time by in this, the 51st NAPA Spring Sizzler. Ron Silk leads back to turn number 1, gets a good jump at the front of the field. Matt Hirschman immediately positions his number 60 to the inside of Woody Pitkat, who has better momentum in the outside lane. Will hang on to the 2nd spot. Hirschman back to 3rd. Galco up to 4th, corner out of shape in car number 31 off of turn 4, saves it, and somehow everybody is able to check up and miss him.
It was a ripple effect, and it was one that nobody wanted to see because everybody somehow was able to squeak on by. Ronnie Silk tries to follow the 17 car of Michael Christopher. that it's John McKennedy, Chase Dowling right there with him, and Max McLaughlin runs to the outside of Dowling. He's trying to thread the needle to get to the front of the field. That's a battle for 13th on back up front. Leader still remains Silk. Woody Pitcat running right there. And then in our second pack of cars, look at Eric Goodale, car 58. Currently running in the 7th spot, challenging for the 6th position. They're side by side, Kyle, as they bonsai down into turn number 3. And here comes the bad boy himself, Anthony Bellows. What a good run for him. Car 179 moves underneath Marcello Ruffano.
Goodale will pick up that 6th spot. Bello to 7th. Ruffano, the big loser on that lap, losing 2 positions back to 8th. Steven Kopchik in unchallenged 9th right now. And Jimmy Blewett has his hands full had his hands full a moment ago. Teddy Hodgson went to the inside to take 10th. Then it's Blewett back to 11th.
There's another good battle going on as John McKennedy is trying to get around Chase Dowling, as Dowling is trying to get around Michael Christopher. That is at the bottom of the top 15. Things are starting to get racy. 30 of the 100 laps. We've got a spin. Turn number 2. Car goes around bottom of the racetrack. Looks like maybe the Kraus machine again. So no luck today. A lot of luck yesterday. Gets it fired back up. Right rear tire is literally disintegrated on that race car as it's time to put it back to speed off turn number 4. And here they come.
Ron Silk on the jump and on the brake once again into turn number 1. It looked like Hirschman may have caught the infield grass with the left front, trying to take that 2nd spot away, and he may do that successfully with Pitcat to his outside as they go side by side into turn number 4. Pitcat top side with the Ron trouble further back, and a nice save once again by Marcello Ruffano. Hangs on to it, barely keeping it off the outside safer wall.
Well, Max McLaughlin gained the most on that one because his spotter told him to dive to the inside of Dowling, and it paid off for him as he picked up yet another position back there. Off the turn, rumbling back to the line. Good racing wherever you look. Now stepping out of line in that battle in the mid-pack of cars is Ronnie Williams. Remember, Williams started way in the back of the field. Good side-by-side racing action there. Now a little crossover action. Williams picks up a spot. Here comes Dowling. He's come back up to life underneath Marcello Ruffano. Dowling into the inside of Marcello Ruffano, and there is the 77 of Max McLaughlin.
Ruffano trying to recover from that bobble a couple of laps ago, running mid-pack right now as the front of the field has singled out. Behind Ron Silk, Woody Pitcat 1 and 2, and separated by about 2 car lengths. 2 more back to Matt Hirschman in 3rd. Galco in 4th, trouble back straight away. Solo car spin into the infield. And right now, we'll keep it under green. Now caution is out. That might be Marcello Ruffano. That's out of shape.
It looks like possibly that is the story. Marcello Ruffano, the youngster we call the pride of Italy. Did you know, Kyle Rickey, that during the off season, he had an opportunity to have an Xfinity ride, and underneath the NASCAR program, you have to be pre-approved to run on a super speedway. Unfortunately, they decided that he didn't have enough experience. Can you imagine that? So unfortunately, Marcello Ruffano had to put those plans on hold. Let's see what's going to happen as we continue to try to turn it up. And that time, Silk got a good bite. Again, as usual, but Woody Pitcat is there. Remember, Pitcat told us earlier, this car has a different motor program than most of the cars in the field, and that has not necessarily been an ideal situation, is the story that he told us.
Back to turn number 1, and Pitcat will hang on to that 2nd spot, not lose a whole lot of ground to Silk, and is able to drive away from Matt Hirschman in 3rd, who is about to have his hands full. We have not talked much about Doug Coby, other than he is slowly but surely picking them off one at a time. Suddenly, he is in the top 5, running 4th. and on the back bumper of Hirschman for third.
There's no question he is being very patient and very cautious. Remember, this is one of those racetracks that he knows, he likes, he's won titles with. I think we have to give kudos to Anthony Bello with that number 179 car, and Matty Galco directly behind him with that number 3 car. That's the battle for the 5th and the 6th situation there. Meanwhile, John McKennedy continues to try to pick them off, but all of a sudden, Ronnie Williams dives to the inside, and Williams is trying to get around McKennedy as Williams is looking to get into the top 10.
That is a battle just outside of the top 10, 11th and 12th on the racetrack. McKennedy and Williams further up. Christopher looking to the inside of Kopchik for a spot. That's about the 8th position. Teddy Hodgson has done a nice job coming toward the front. No practice or qualifying yesterday for the driver of car number 55, and has made his way up and into the top 10, running 10th.
Teddy Hodgson, what a talent. He really starting to really blossom in these tour type modifieds. He's tapping on the back bumper of Michael Christopher. Christopher seems to be having to manhandle the race car, but Ronnie Williams has come to life with car number 50. A few laps ago, he was behind John McKennedy. Once he got around McKennedy, he's picked up 2 positions, and Hodgson is right there in the back bumper of the number 17 car of Michael Christopher. Christopher guarding the inside lane. Williams is like a man possessed as he runs to the top side of the racetrack.
Close moment a lap ago for David Arute. Lost a couple of spots here on the front straightaway after getting turned toward the infield grass. Was able to hang on to the car as that battle for position comes back again off of turn number 4. Chris Pastriak to the inside of McKennedy. That is 12th and 13th. Chase Dowling in that number 9 car now goes to the inside of McKennedy for the 13th spot on the racetrack.
Well, they continue to have a good battle going on. Kopchik is now being worked over by Ronnie Williams. He continues to apply the pressure as the caution flag comes out.
Bobby Santos, front straightaway, car 44. Brian Narducci may have been a part of that in car number 3, and Santos is not happy as that window net comes down in a big hurry. The driver behind the wheel of the 44.
And the 48 car of Marcello Ruffano perhaps had no place to go. We'll take a look at the instant replay of that one. But again, Santos, you're right. When you see him put down the window net that quick, you know there is some heat there. 2 good old Italian boys right there. And as we said, we can look from our vantage point at the front of the Marcello Ruffano race car, and it looks like there is perhaps some damage done to what they call the toe on the front end, where one wheel is headed one way and the other is headed in the opposite direction. So checking the racing surface to make sure everything is okay, and it looks like that, yep, it looks like we're going to have a hook perhaps on both of these cars.
Doug Kobe on pit road, car number 7, giving up a
Matty
spot
Galco
inside of the top 5. Kobe was 4th at the time. Galco was 6th at the time. They are on pit lane now. Here 6 laps shy of the halfway mark.
Also is on pit road is the number 31 car, back down on pit road for Noah Corner. Coming down at pit road, some additional cars. Kraus is there. 75 of Arute is there. And it looks like the 29 car of Spencer Davis is also there. So we are 43 laps complete of 100 circuits, 7 laps shy. And we're taking a look at the replay. See if we can figure this one out, Kyle.
Bobby has climbed from the car here on the front stretch. Narducci, the first car to get out of shape in car number 3, and then toward the back of the pack, they'll come into frame. And Santos just got, looked like jam between 2 cars. Marcello was behind him.
You know, let's take another look at this if we can get another shot of it, because I think that Narducci had some help there as he came off the turn, and there you can see a great speed shot coming at you down the front straightaway, and they literally rode the wall there as things got pretty intense in the comp. There was some contact. Spencer Davis made contact with Narducci. Narducci Tried to spin to the inside. Now look what happens after that.
That was Blewett that had to check up behind David Aru, and then when Santos checked up, Rafano got into him, and Dave ended up in the outside wall.
Locked up on the binders, but had no place at all to go. With big bucks on the line. And ka-ching, ka-ching, that cash register is ringing for Ronnie Silk with that lap money up front.
Wow, leaders nearly got together here on the front straightaway as Pitcat spun the tires and turned down into Silk. They're okay, but close moment on the restart. Opened the door for Matt Hirschman right there in third. And then we're going to have Anthony Bello now up to fourth. Goodale in fifth as they come around to complete lap 44.
Trouble now down the front straightaway. Steven Kopczyk, he does a little bit of, a caffeine twitch, as they used to call it. His buddy, Chase Dowling, moves to the inside of him, and now Chris Pastriak is right there. Back up front, battle is, and look at the Bello kid working over Matt Hirschman. You can say that you've learned your lessons well when you can race with Matt Hirschman like that, Kyle, and he is doing just that.
He is, as Bello is within a car length, and in fact challenging for third in turn 3. Bottom shot move for Anthony Bello. Takes third away from Hirschman, who is backsliding in this event, but is it by design? Is he conserving the car, conserving the tires? If anybody knows how to do that and run these long distance races, it is Matt Hirschman, but is he fading too far back? He's about to fall out of the top 5.
Look at Ronnie Williams. He started in the parking lot, and Ronnie Williams is up into the 6th spot, pressuring Eric Goodale. So Williams doesn't need to know the definition of failure. He is a winner, and he is now in position number 5. He has passed perhaps more cars than anyone else. Here comes Goodale. He works over the bad boy, and that is Bellows, as Eric Goodale now moves into position number 3. 48 laps, just 2 laps shy of the halfway marker. Top 10 cars, Chris Pastriak now holding on to the 10th spot. Kopczyk dropped back to 11th. John McKennedy is in the 12th position.
Doug Coby having a tough time gaining back the ground that he lost on pit lane. Still outside of the top 20, scored last time by in 24th. As the leaders are strung out, Mike Christopher Jr. having a tough time and having his hands full with Teddy Hodgson and Chase Dowling. Halfway home, 50 down, 50 to go. Ron Silk showing the way.
And he continues to literally hold on that lap money, and how impressive it is as he continues to set the pace. Phil Moran has provided him with a setup that is obviously working to its true potential, working their magic at the front of this field. Meanwhile, good action still developing. Just out of the top 10, Steven Kopczyk is trying to hold off John McKennedy, Brian Narducci, and Glenn Reen and Max McLaughlin has dropped back. Here comes Narducci down underneath Steven Kopczyk. He pulls it off, and guess who he brings with him? Glenn Reen. As Glenn Reen, well, he was on pit road just a short time ago, 52 of 100. All but gone here at Stafford.
48 laps to run as Ron Silk leads off of turn number 4. Still just a couple of car lengths in hand, but he is pulling away from Woody Pitcat in second. Goodale in third, Bello in fourth, Williams in fifth as they cross the line this time by Hirschman. Deepest he has been in a long time in this race, back to position number 6. But again, is it by design? We'll find out here within the last 46 laps. Blewett slowing just a bit on the back straightaway as Coby goes by to the outside, as does Galco. So keeping an eye on Jimmy Blewett. That car is slow here on the front straightaway.
Jimmy Blewett has had no luck at all with that race car as he continues to try to fight off and hold off the opposition here as well. Teddy Hodgson is closing in on Michael Christopher like the days of old, and when they competed in Legends car racing, as well as when they competed here in the SK program and the light program as well. Blewett is heading down on pit road. I think he has had enough of that car for today, as it looks like it's expired, and it pulls down on the bottom of pit road. 56 laps of 100. Ronnie Silk continues to ring that cash register for lap money here at the half mile with Woody Pitcat. setting in the comfort zone. Eric Goodale is in third. Remember, Goodale said a year ago, I had the worst Sizzler ever. But then he's the closer. And Goodale, when he sets his sights on closing, he comes on strong at about the three-quarter mark in the event.
Ed Flemke slow, back straightaway, car number 11. Noah Corner picked up a spot on John McKennedy a lap ago. Let's see if Flemke can get that 11 car back to the pit lane. He will safely and maybe even go behind the wall. He is one of the very first, if not the first, pit stall off of turn number 4 as the leaders come back around to complete another lap, closing in on lap number 60, this time by lap traffic just ahead of Ron Silk in turn number 3. That car will go high, giving the race leaders room to the bottom. Passing flag to the driver of car number 10 as they go back to turn 1.
And there's no question about it that it is a very heated battle right there as well. Look a little further back. Matty Galko is trying to get back into the hunt. He is working his way through traffic. Remember, he had a solid top 5 going, and then he decided to pit. Now, he's got fresher rubber on that race car. Will it make a difference? It depends on if we go green to the closing laps, or will we have another caution? Things still racy. 61 laps up on the board. Ronnie Silk, Woody Pitcat, Eric Goodale, Anthony Bello, and Ronnie Williams. Williams has passed more cars than anyone else in the field in the Adam Scavora prepared car.
If we stay green much longer, the race leaders will be in a host of lap traffic, and that could be a deciding factor here. David Arute, the next car to go a lap down in car number 75, about a half a straightaway within the sight of the race leaders. Blewett also in front of the leaders. You have Buddy Charette, Matt Swanson, Spencer Davis, all within sight of Ron Silk. He comes around, 36 laps to run, working lap number 63 as they hit the stripe.
There's no question. It's still a dogfight battle, and we haven't even seen the best of this one. Little further back in the field, Michael Christopher's trying to hold off Teddy Hodgson still. Dowling is still there in that 3-car pack, and then Chris Pastriak is there. Narducci, and now Noah Corner makes the move as he puts the number 31 to the inside. Slingshots by Narducci. Narducci's car seems to be slowing just a bit as all of a sudden it is Glenn Green who's moving in on that position as well.
Doug Coby slowly making his way back to the front. He is up to the 17th position. Caution is out.
And it looks like Narducci's machine, we said something obviously had went awry with that race car because he started to falter. The car seemed to become a little bit evil for him, and there is the Florida connection markings on the back of the machine as it sat stranded there on the racetrack. This is a caution on 65. Do we think we're going to see some pit road action, or do we think we're going to see some competitors staying out? Time holds the answer in this one, and let's go back down to John Gates. John, do you hear any murmuring there? Is pit road going to be the story?
Yes, pit road will be the story. A lot of guys got the tires ready to go here in these pit crews, so a lot of your leaders are going to be coming in. Keep in mind that the Doug Coby 7 machine came in and got 4 fresh ones, so he has probably got the freshest tires out there. However, he doesn't have any fresh ones left.
Well, you know, as we look back through timing and scoring on this, we can see that Doug Coby with the 7 New York is back and shown back in the 24th or 23rd position. Now, you mentioned a key point, John Gates, when you said that he doesn't have any tires left. So is he being smart? Here they come. John Gates, they're headed towards you. I think the entire field is looking to head down on pit road.
Yeah, waiting down here for all the guys to come in. All the cars heading down pit road right now. All your leaders, you got Ron Silk in the number 16 car. They are anxiously waiting as he comes into his pit stall. Comes to a great stop here in the Blue Mountain machine. Car up on the jacks. Tires right now going on the rear. These guys are running this pit stop very professionally right here. Tires back over the wall. Also, the number 60 machine is in the pit area, and that is Matt the Hirschman number 60 machine. They've already got that car off the jacks. He, too, getting rear tires. Right sides on the number 88 of Woody Pitcat as well. He's going to go with 4 brand new tires. These guys are absolutely rocking down here.
Eric Goodale also made a very quick and impressive pit stop.
Tim Prokowski?
Yep.
We're over here with the number 50, changed right side tires, made a wedge adjustment in the 17 pit, right side tires, left rear tire.
Matt Hirschman's car still on the pit lane. Going to lose a ton of spots on pit road for the driver of car number 60. Look who finds himself back at the front of the field when all is said and done.
I told you, strategy pays off. And we
is
just
Doug
saw it. And of course, you can't count out Tom Baldwin Jr. He knows how to play this game to his advantage. And, you know, we thought earlier that Matty Galco might have made a mistake. I don't think he made a mistake at all. He might have made perhaps the Timex timely move of this event. In addition to that, Ronnie Williams lost some positions on the racetrack. Matt Hirschman did. Chase Dowling lost several, as Chris Pastriak did as well. So we'll see if it pays off. Fresh rubber, you know, they refer to fresh tires on a race car like a brand new bar of soap. When you take it out of the package, it makes a lot of suds. It's good, it smells good, it's great. Well, when you have fresh tires on your race cars, they stick, they work, they create magic, and they can make an evil race car seem all of a sudden like it is manageable and a car to contend to get to the front of the field.
So the top 4 cars stayed out. Ron Silk won the race off of pit road. He will restart in 5th, but it will be Doug Coby at the point for the restart, Matt Galco in 2nd, Spencer Davis in 3rd, Matt Swanson in 4th. Remember, they pitted under a prior caution. They stayed out under this yellow when the rest of the lead lap cars came onto the pit lane. Ron Silk, who won the race off of pit road a lap ago, will restart in position number 5.
Okay, here's what's going to happen as we're about ready to go back to green 65. We're just shy of the 3/4 mark of 75. Off the turn, fire him back up, and Matty Galco trying to show Doug Coby a thing or two, but it is Coby going, gone at the front of the field. Meanwhile, look at that battle for the 3rd spot, and it is Matt Swanson. We was counting him out a little bit earlier as well, and all of a sudden, he's showing some potential. Tires making it happen.
Ron Silk knows he needs to go on those fresher tires, even though it's only a couple of laps. Get going before the goodie wears off for Ron Silk as he moves around Spencer Davis. Here comes Woody Pitcat now into the top 5, looking to the inside of Davis for 4th, as Matt Galco in 2nd breaks away just a bit, along with race leader Doug Coby, who pitted 2 cautions ago.
And while that has been taking place, look back and you will see that Woody Pitcat is trying to close up the gap ever so slightly as he's gaining on this as well.
Matt Hirschman desperate to get back to the front, tried to make it 3 wide here on the front stretch a half a lap ago. Mired deep in traffic with nowhere to go as they are stacked up 2 and 3 wide in front of him. Car number 60, Steven Kopchik, being one of those cars immediately in front of the defending winner.
No question, you can see that happening on the outside. Good racing action. Kopchik is still trying to dig deep on the bottom of the racetrack. Glenn Green is out there 3 wide as they come off turn number 4. Noah Corner, he's working his way back towards the front of the field. But 3rd leader of the event, Doug Coby, maybe used the strategy that everybody was thinking about but didn't know how to apply it.
It's all about execution, and right now, Doug Coby and that Tommy Baldwin team have executed perfectly, or have they? Because here comes Ron Silk on fresher tires by a couple laps, closing to within 2 car lengths.
Yes. Less than 3:07 between 1st and 2nd. Doug Coby is gone. Remember, Coby is ringing up the lap money as we speak. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. And right there behind him is Ronnie Silk. Silk has led more laps and taken more of that lap money than just about anybody else.
Here's the battle for the lead. Halfway up the back straightaway. Ron Silk to the inside. Doug Kobe to the outside. By the time they get to turn 4, Ron Silk back to the front of the field here at lap 74.
Wow, what a move Ronnie Silk has just put down as he continues to pick up position number 1 at the front of the field, as now we are going to be 25 laps to go when they come back to the line. Silk continues to be the driving force at the front of the field. Meanwhile, Hirschman is in a good battle with Spencer Davis for the 7th position. Kopsik is in the 9th spot behind Hirschman, and Ronnie Williams is back up to 10th. Michael Christopher in the 11th spot.
That's the way they run. Deeper in the pack. Noah Corner, Chase Dowling, Anthony Bello, and Chris Pastriak top 15. And looks like, is that Galco pulling off the pace here on the front stretch? Max McLaughlin is slow in the 77. He pulls onto the pit lane, and the caution flag comes out.
And it appears that maybe it was Matty Galco's machine that had just enough energy to pull down off the racetrack and head down behind the wall down in turn number 2, which is ending his day. Just big money racing on a Saturday here at Stafford.
Here they come back down to the line. Green is up, and Ronnie Silk leads them back to turn number 1 with Doug Kobe to the outside. That opens the door once again for Woody Pitkat, who goes to the bottom in a race for 2nd. Goodale is 3rd. McKennedy moving his way back into the top 5, running in 5th to the inside of Spencer Davis.
Yeah, Spencer Davis, you know, you would have counted that car out if you'd seen how bad it was wrecked. But look at John McKennedy. McKennedy, he was definitely showing that he was absolutely being exceptionally cautious as he was threading the needle to get to the front of this field. Don't count out John McKennedy by any stretch of the imagination. We've got another car to the bottom of the racetrack that might be, yes, or the DeRocher machine. We're not quite sure. It is the DeRocher car. Back up front, working and turning up things just a bit. And going to the outside is Michael Christopher, the car with a white stripe on it. Ronnie Williams is trying to follow him through to get to the front of the class. Anthony Bello is there.
They have singled out.
Noah Corner is there. Yes, they have.
Toward the front of the field, and Ron Silk trying to get away because here comes Woody Pitkat, a former winner back in 2015 of this race. Pitkat in 2nd, Kobe in 3rd, losing a bit of ground, and then a good 3-way scramble for 4th with Goodale, McKennedy, and Matt Hirschman having to battle his way back up through the field after a slow pit stop a few laps ago.
Spencer Davis has been backing up after running among the top 5 cars. As Davis, now look at Noah Corner. He takes a bite out of the position that is currently held down by the number 17 of Michael Christopher. Corner is into the 9th spot. Anthony Bello is 10th. Chase Dowling is up to the 11th spot. Andrew Krause is back up to 12th. Ronnie Williams is 13th. 81 of 100. Silk continues to dominate. Woody Pitkat continues to run in his tire tracks. Look at the battle now shaping up. Matt Hirschman is applying the pressure to John McKennedy. That's the battle for the 5th and 6th spot. Then there's a huge separation. Michael Christopher goes underneath Stephen Kopsik in a side-by-side bid.
Further up, here's Hirschman to the inside for position number 4. We'll make that 5 on McKennedy. Hirschman will take that spot away, but unfortunately for Matt right now, he is about half a straightaway, maybe a little more than that, behind race leader Ron Silk.
Anthony Bellows just went around Michael Christopher a little further back in this one. And then it's Noah Corner who made the same type of a move. So all of a sudden, Michael Christopher's car's got a little bit evil, and it appears that the Krause car has also started to come back to life. Car number 24. 85 of 100. Ronnie Silk still the demanding force up front. Pitkat still in second. Kobe still in third. Now, here comes Bello. Down underneath Steven Kopsik. Anthony Bello moves into the 7th spot. He's on a roll.
Noah Corner part of that battle and try to follow in Bello's footsteps. Goes to the inside of Kopchik for position number 8. They are nose to nose when they hit the stripe for that position. Back to turn number 1, but again, well behind race leader Ron Silk. No change at the front of the field. Still about 4 car lengths back to Woody Pitkat in second.
Good racing wherever you look at the further back in the field from about 6 on back. John McKennedy still holding on to that 6th position. Anthony Bello's up to 7th. Noah Corner is in the 8th spot. And then in the 9th position, it is Steven Kopsik. Michael Christopher is 10th. Chase Dowling is 11th. Andrew Kraus is 12th. Ronnie Williams in 13th position. This time, when they come back to the stripe, 10 laps to go.
5 miles left here in the 51st Napa Spring Sizzler. Ron Silk looking for his first win in the event. Woody Pitkat looking for his second as they go back to turn number 2. Doug Kobe fading on those older tires just a bit, but still maintains third. Best battle, Ben, is for 4th. And right now it's between Goodale and Hirschman.
Hirschman has continued to be right there, and now he sees a little daylight. Bonsai down into turn number 1. Give Matt Hirschman the spot, forcing Eric Goodale to be back into position number 5 in the GAF machine. Off the turn still, setting a blistering pace. Ronnie Silk, Woody Pitkat still in second. Doug Kobe in third. And now it is Matt Hirschman in the 4th spot. Goodale's got 5. And John McKennedy in 6th with Anthony Bello in the 7th position.
Here comes Woody Pitkat chipping away at Ron Silk with 7 laps to go. Still about 3 car lengths between the top 2. Lap traffic ahead. There's still enough time for Pitkat to make that run and perhaps make a pass en route to a win here. As they come off of turn number 4, he's gonna have to pick up the pace just a bit as he's beginning to run out of time with 6 laps to go.
He certainly is. .413 is the story between 1st and 2nd. Pitkat has brought his A game. Ronnie Silk, he is the man that has gained the most money so far before he even gets into the final laps. 5 laps to go. The high 5 has been given in the greatest race in the history of spring. Ronnie Silk has been the driving force. Will he be able to hold off for the final 5, or does Woody Pitkat have enough steam? He's closing in. He's getting closer. Pitkat is reeling him in.
Giving it his all, driving deep into turn 3 and again into turn number 1, but Silk maintains the top spot by 3 car lengths. Pitkat in second. Battle for third's a good one between Kobe and Matt Hirschman, but again, well out of the picture for the race win. Coming to 3 laps to go for Ron Silk.
Lap traffic up ahead of the leaders. Silk starts to string it out just a bit more, but Woody Pitkat continues to close the gap. Look a little further back. Doug Kobe continues to try to hold off Matt Hirschman. Twirling 2s are in the air. Kyle Rickey, 2 circuits to go for Ronnie Silk.
In his 16th Napa Spring Sizzler, looking for his first win. He's been on the podium twice before, but never to Napa victory lane. A lap and a half away from doing just that. Ron Silk will see the white flag, this time off of turn number 4.
And right there, running in his tire tracks, Woody Pitkat. Pitkat reels him in, bottom of turn number 2. Woody Pitkat has closed up the gap. Ronnie Silk steps on the gas, pulls away in turn number 3. Off turn number 4, Silk is there. Pitkat moves alongside. The fans are jumping up and down in their seats, but it is Ronnie Silk to take down the win. Woody Pitkat to finish in second. Doug Kobe to finish in third. Matt Hirschman will finish in the 4th spot. Eric Goodale for 5, John McKennedy for 6, Anthony Bello for 7th, Noah Corner for 8th, Stephen Kopsick for 9th. Then it is Michael Christopher to finish in 10th.
Ron Silk becomes the 28th different winner of the greatest race in the history of spring in its first 51 runnings by 1/100th of a second, or 1 car length. Back to Woody Pitkat in second. Car number 16 heading to Napa Victory Lane. We'll continue with the finishing order. Ben gave you the top 10 a moment ago. Andrew Kraus finished 11th, Chase Dowling 12th, Ronnie Williams 13th, Chris Pastriak 14th, Glenn Reen 15th, all on the lead lap, along with Teddy Hodgson in 16th, Matt Swanson 17th, Nick Anglaise 18th, Spencer Davis 19th. Final car on the lead lap, 20th of Ryan Doucette.
Then it's David Arute 21st, Matty Galco 22nd, Max McLaughlin 23rd, Brian Narducci to finish in 24th, Buddy Charette for 25th, Eddie Flemke for 26th, Jimmy Ballou at 27th, Bobby Santos 28th, Marcello Rufano is 29th. And in 30th position is Jake Johnson, Austin Bissett 31st, and Craig Lutz will finish in 32nd position.
Another great Napa Spring Sizzler, the 51st running. Want to thank everybody for coming out, especially those that were here with us last night as well for the Napa Auto Parts dual qualifying races. The return of the American-Canadian Tour. They ran 75 laps last night, won by DJ Shaw. First time that they've been to Stafford in over 3 decades. Been a busy opening weekend. We can't wait to see you again, hopefully this coming Friday night, as the opening modifieds will be back in competition for 81 laps, along with our 5 weekly divisions that are here each and every week, headlined by the SK Modifieds. Hopefully, Mother Nature blesses us with another perfect weather day come Friday that she gave us here over the last 2 days to open up our 2023 season.
There he is, as we look down in the winner's circle, a very ecstatic Phil Moran over there to congratulate, the car owner there as well, and Ronnie Silk will be soon getting out of the race car. Big congratulations, and we will. And there is Ryan Stone there to congratulate his buddy as well, and Bill Long is there as. He is a proud part of the Victory Lane festivities here, and as we said before, it has been an incredible 2 days of racing here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. A lot of history was made. We saw yesterday, as Kyle Rickey was pointing it out, the American-Canadian Tour out of the car. Let's go to Victory Lane.
And indeed, jumping down into Victory Lane, Ronnie Silk, the 28th different winner of the Napa Spring Sizzler. He gets the wreath, the milk, and Ronnie Silk is the champion. As he showers the crew with milk. But man, what a run. Ronnie Silk, man, you were able to hold off a whole bunch of challenges there to win this thing. The 16 car was a rocket ship, but right at the end, Woody was coming.
Yeah, he was coming hard. I was just going to make sure I slowed down and not slip up and come off the bottom, but, you know, he was certainly coming there at the end. It was, you know, fun racing with him all day. He's a good friend of mine, and just really pumped to get a Spring Sizzler win here after coming off the fall final last year. You know, just this place is, I mean, this is the nicest place anywhere near us, maybe in the country. It's amazing what the Arutes have put into this and made it what it is. And really an honor to put my name on that trophy with all the other names that are on there.
Yeah, Ron, how tough was it out there? I mean, there was a few cautions, but how was the track conditions and all?
The track was good. I mean, I thought the track was pretty good all weekend. The sun is tough that time of day. Just kind of almost blinded getting down into turn 1 and kind of guessing where you're going, but everyone's dealing with the same thing. Man, the 16's been a rocket ship this year. It was great this afternoon. How about some guys that help you out? Yeah, well, my entire team, my car owners, Joe Yanone, Tyler Haight, Phil Moran, my crew chief, Bob Tulipani, the car chief, everyone that comes and works on this, puts their time to it. Willwood Brakes, BA Headers, Lancy Racing Engines, Sublimited Racing Apparel, just everyone that gives us a hand. Give it up for Ronnie Silk, the 28th different winner of the Napa Spring Sizzler, our 51st annual, the number 16. He'll go to Victory Lane. Let's talk to our second place finisher with Tim.
Here with Woody Pitkat. Man, Woody, you gave it everything you had there at the end.
Yeah, all I needed was maybe about 3 more hours of sleep if I didn't get stuck in the infield yesterday after that ACT race. But now we had a phenomenal car. I mean, obviously Ronnie and those guys have been stout. You know, they were last year towards the end of the year. I know that they were struggling not to win, and then they've been coming on strong there at the fall final, and then they've been keeping their momentum. So Ronnie's a great friend of mine. So if I can't win, really, that's cool. If I can't win, you know, obviously I want him to see him or my brother-in-law win, but I just can't thank these guys enough. Maybe if I had 5 or 6 more laps, he was starting to struggle a little bit, and I was getting there, but I was going to have to move him if I was going to have anything for him. But like I said, you know, being here at the fall final, being wrecked to being back to where the car is, it's just as good as it was all summer last year. I can't thank these guys enough. Doug Dunleavy, Cam McDermott and his father, the whole crew, all the sponsors, McKinney Construction, Horsepower, Hill, Steve Greer, Gunsmoke Stables. I mean, the list goes on and on. Towboat US, the 1009 Classic Cars, Alpine Trees, just everybody that's on here. I'm sure I missed somebody, but I could go on and on. Kenyon, Holmes, all those guys, my whole crew. I got crew that's helped me, that's come back. You know, my family's here. It's not every race that I can have, you know, my whole family here, all my kids and everything. And normally when they do come, I'm either crashed or climbing the backstretch wall. So I was really hoping to get a victory lane picture with them tonight, but at least I had a good run. So just thank them for coming out and supporting me and my whole family. And Doug's the man, and we'll get ready for Friday.
All right, congratulations, Woody. We'll send it to Johnny with the 3rd place finisher.
All right, and that 3rd place finisher was Doug Kobe, driving that number 7 New York machine. That car was running good tonight, Doug. Okay, we had a pit stop. Was it too soon? Were you happy? What's going on there?
I don't know. This was a crazy weekend for us. You know, we didn't have the same duel that these two guys had. We got bent up and spun around and had to use one of our feature tires in the duel. So we had a lot of strategy to figure out. And you know, pitting early, it was greasy out there, so we thought it would be tough to pass, and maybe later in the run, some of these guys with the fast cars would kind of slide around a little bit on restarts. It just didn't happen, and come home P3. Really happy to be here at the Sizzler. It's an awesome event. Thank the Arute family and NAPA for putting this on every year. Mayhew Tools, Baldwin Automotive on our car. And somewhere, my buddy Don King's really happy right now. He got his 3 drivers, 1, 2, 3. The King family's here, so I think it's probably the first time me, Ron, and Woody have ever finished top 3. And Shelly, I love you. I know you're watching, and you know, happy Mother's Day to everybody. My mom, I love you. Everybody here, you know, thanks for coming out. This is such a cool event. Got 4 of these wins. Was hoping for 5, but it just wasn't meant to be tonight.
All right, man. Congratulations, 3rd place.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks.
All right, Doug Kobe goes 3rd in the Spring Sizzler, and that's it, guys. What a race.